Hello dear students, now we start with the part 3 of your English literature, lesson 4, meeting Miss Trotwood. Please take out your book and follow my explanation. So, David refused to go back with his stepfather and Miss Betsy said that now she would take care of her nephew. When they had gone, my aunt announced that she would be my guardian and that I should be called Trotwood Copperfield. Thus I began my new life in a new name and with everything new about me. My aunt sent me to school at Canterbury. Since there was no room at the school for boarders, she arranged for me to board with her old lawyer, Mr. Wickfield. So, after David's stepfather and his sister, they had both left, so Miss Betsy announced that now she would be the guardian of David and David would get a new name, that is David Trotwood Copperfield. And from that time began the new life of David. Now David's aunt sent him to Canterbury, but since it was far from his aunt's house and since there were no room for the school for boarders, that means who are going to stay the night also, she arranged for him to stay with her old lawyer, Mr. Wickfield. My aunt was as happy as I was in this arrangement. Mr. Wickfield's house was quiet and still, with his daughter Agnes, a child of about my own age, was bright and happy. So David's aunt was happy with this arrangement of his staying at Mr. Wickfield's house. It was quiet and very still, and Mr. Wickfield's daughter was also staying there, Agnes, who was about the same age as David, and she was very bright and happy child. The school I now went to was better in every way than Salem House, but I felt very strange at first. It had been quite a while since I was at a school with companions of my own age. It seemed to me that I had forgotten everything I had learned. However, I felt better when I went to school the next day, and a good deal better the day after, and so on, that in less than a fortnight I was quite at home and happy among my new companions. So David was comparing that he found out that Canterbury School was much better than the one which he was attending, that is Salem House. And at first he felt very strange because he was not going to school for some time and he was not with companions of his own age. So when he met new boys and girls, so he was feeling a little strange. It seemed that he had forgotten everything what he had learned. But when he went to school the second day, he felt better. Again, the third day, he felt better. And this way, after a fortnight, that is, after 2 weeks, he was quite comfortable and happy with his new friends. Trot, said my aunt, when she left me at Mr. Wickfield's, never be mean in anything, never be false, never be cruel. I will come and visit you soon. And now the pony's at the door and I am off. She embraced me hastily and went out of the house, shutting the door after her. When I looked into the street, I noticed how sadly she got into the case and that she drove away without looking up. So David's aunt called out to David and said that before leaving that place, she said that do not be mean, do not be dishonest, don't be cruel. I will come and visit you from time to time, and now the pony is waiting for me and I'm off. David's aunt was very sad at leaving her nephew back, so she quickly hastily embraced him, and then she went out of the house, shutting the door after her. When David looked into the street, he saw that his aunt was very sad and she did not look back, because if she looked back again, she would again come back. She would not be able to leave David there, and for his betterment, she went away without looking. And that's how we come to know about the new life that David started. So we stop here. Thank you.